Charlie Munger, famous billionaire investor and Warren Buffett's right-hand man, believes that the hardest step towards building wealth is acquiring your first $100,000. Picture this. You're at a Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting in the 1990s, and a young man asks Charlie Munger for his top advice on investing and building wealth. The guy's frustrated that his net worth isn't growing as fast as he'd like, and he's struggling to get started. Munger's response? The first $100,000 is a bit, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do, if it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon. Find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit. It's no secret that the 100K quote has been echoed by many successful people over the years. But have you ever stopped to think about what it really means and why it's such a significant milestone? I was curious to find out, so I delved into the math and the theory behind the popular financial wisdom. Stick around, because I'm about to share what I discovered. Let's paint a picture. There's an investor who puts $10,000 into their investment portfolio every year. Now, let's say their portfolio grows at a rate of 4% annually. This might not sound like a lot, but hear me out. You see, a lot of people assume a 10% growth rate. But is that really realistic in the long term? As someone who's in the market and making trades, I prefer to be more conservative and aim for a more attainable target. Check this out. From observing this graph, after 8 years and 7 months, or 8.58 years precisely, our investor will have acquired $100,000. And by consistently investing $10,000 per year with a 4% growth rate, they can achieve their next $100,000 in just 6.41 years, which is significantly less time. This showcases the fascinating process of generating wealth through investments up to $1 million. As the portfolio grows by $100,000, the time it takes to generate each additional $100,000 decreases. It's amazing to think about. Even though our investor is contributing the same amount of money each year, their portfolio is working tirelessly behind the scenes to churn out more and more capital at a faster rate every year. Here's a jaw-dropping fact. It took our investor over 8 years to reach their first $100,000, but just 7 years to go from $700,000 to $1 million. That's the incredible power of compounded returns over the long term. But wait, there's more. Did you know that hitting the $300,000 mark is actually halfway to $1 million? It's an interesting point worth noting. Yes, you heard me right. It might sound absurd, but let me break it down for you using our example. To go from a portfolio of $0 to $300,000 would take approximately 20.11 years. And then, get this, to go from $300,000 to $1 million would take just 20.94 years. It's truly remarkable and once again showcases the magic of compound interest at work. While you're starting to grasp the significance of hitting that $100,000 milestone, there's so much more to uncover. Think of it as a treasure hunt, where we'll uncover the secrets behind why reaching this mark is such a game changer. After delving deep into the topic, I've identified 2 key reasons why reaching the magical $100,000 mark is so important: exponential growth and portfolio size. But fear not, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to take you on a journey and explore both of these points in detail. And by the end of it, you'll have a newfound appreciation for this concept and be well on your way to becoming a savvy investor. So let's dive in. In my opinion, one of the key factors that makes the first $100,000 such a game changer is its ability to trigger exponential growth. To further illustrate this point, let's consider a theoretical scenario. Imagine investing $6,000 annually for 40 years at a 6% growth rate. At the end of the 40-year period, your returns would amount to an impressive $968,658. It might seem reasonable to assume that if you doubled your investment to $12,000 per year, you could achieve the same results in half the time, in this case, 20 years. But the reality is far from it. With $12,000 per year at 6% for 20 years, your returns would only be $449,472. This is why the initial $100,000 holds such significance. It serves as a catalyst for exponential growth in the later stages, enabling you to reap greater benefits in the long run. By hitting this milestone earlier, you open up more opportunities for future growth. To better understand the concept of exponential growth, let's visualize it. Linear growth is represented by a straight line, where the same amount is added over each unit of time. Exponential growth, on the other hand, is when an initial amount increases by the same percentage over each unit of time. As depicted in the graph, exponential growth starts slow, but it gains momentum over time, ultimately skyrocketing towards the end. This is because you earn interest on interest, with the capital amount growing larger, resulting in a more significant interest being applied. Okay, listen up. The second crucial point to bear in mind is that as your portfolio expands, so do your potential profits and losses. Consider this. With a mere 5% return, a $1,000 portfolio gains $50 in a year. But a $100,000 portfolio gains a colossal $5,000 in that same time frame. You heard that right. $5,000 for merely existing. It's the same percentage, yet the outcome is astonishingly different. And what's more, the following year, thanks to the marvels of compound interest, the $5,000 surge would escalate to $5,250. After 5 years, that initial $100,000 investment balloons into an eye-popping $127,628. It sounds too good to be true, but the numbers do not deceive. For all of you who are still tuned in, show some love by smashing the like button, and maybe even subscribe if you found any of this valuable. Alright, now the real question is, how do you make it happen? How do you reach that sweet $100,000 mark? Fret not, my friend, because I've got your back. Here are 4 essentials that will set you on the path to prosperity. Number 1. Structure your budget to pay yourself first. In simpler terms, create a plan where you determine how much you want to invest each month, and then adjust your spending habits accordingly. I won't sugarcoat it. This strategy can be tough to implement, but trust me when I say it is worth it. This technique played a crucial role in my own journey to reaching a considerable amount of money at a fairly young age. So, take control of your finances and prioritize investing in yourself. Your future self will thank you for this. Number 2, let's talk about the elephant in the room, housing. Without a doubt, it's one of the most significant expenses that we face in our lives. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of how much you're shelling out on shelter. Whether you're renting or buying, make sure your total housing costs do not surpass 20% of your gross monthly income. Trust me, this smart move can free up a considerable amount of cash in your budget. Imagine being able to pay off debts, save more, and invest for your future. With a little bit of planning and some financial savvy, you'll be able to live in a comfortable home without sacrificing your financial goals. Number 3. Let's talk about another big ticket item, your car. It's no secret that transportation costs can eat up a considerable chunk of your budget. That's why it's essential to be smart when it comes to major purchases in this category. A rule of thumb: ensure your total car payments for your household don't exceed 8% of your monthly take-home pay. Trust me, this simple decision can save you from unnecessary financial stress down the road. So the next time you're eyeing a shiny new ride, think twice before signing on that dotted line. Remember, it's not about depriving yourself of life's little pleasures, but rather making informed choices that align with your financial goals. And number 4, picture this. You're lying on a beach, soaking up the sun, and sitting on a cold drink, all the while your investments are quietly churning in the background, growing your wealth while you relax. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, with the right approach, this dream can become a reality. The key is to automate your investments as much as possible. Set up a system that automatically invests your money, so you don't have to lift a finger. And I'm not just talking about account contributions. You need to automate the investment purchase order as well. This simple hack can help you stay disciplined and committed to your financial goals without sacrificing your valuable time and energy.